Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another episode of The Legend of Heroes, Trails in the Sky, the Third. This is me, your host, Logic Blade, and we're back again. Last time around, we finished up Chapter 6. We cleared Richard's monument, where we had to go through Leiston Fortress, fight the bigwigs of the military, including Cassius Bright himself. And by somehow eking out a victory against him, we were presented by dealing with who's who of Ouroboros and handling all of them as well. So, we've been busy. We defeated both Cassius and Luve the Blade Lord. We truly are heroes now. In any case, the end of the chapter brought us here. Astor House, where Kevin grew up as a little baby boy. Let's go exploring, since we didn't get the luxury of doing so last time. I mentioned this before, but I really love the music here. This looks like a dining room. Well, living room according to Rias here. Matron here was a stubborn old sister who was strict as could be. Every mealtime we had to pray so much that our stomachs had given up on getting fed by the end of it. Oof. Yep. Welcome to life, in religion. Okay, Kevin, sure. This is the kitchen, obviously. And naturally, they'd have the older children do the cooking. And that doesn't surprise me at all from Rias. It's also very rude to say. Apparently, Rufina loved making food in the kitchen here. I'll make some later. The only thing less reliable to a promise with later attached at the end is one said by you. So warm and cozy together. Looks like the side door of the chapel doesn't open. Worth a try checking that out. Might as well check upstairs while we're here then. It's a present. Oh, that's why it's a single bedroom. It's the matron's room. I was like, you would think they'd have kids in bunk beds in an orphanage this big. Her injuries weren't lasting, though. Huh. Seems like maybe that situation over here went down pretty poorly. Okay, yeah, this is what I was expecting. Bunk beds, a single desk, a bucket and mop. Yeah, that's about what I would expect from a kid's room. Yeah, so this is where the tiny children go, and then there's a boys' room and a girls' room. Well, you can see where he gets the hair, if he's still a little hedgehog. Stop, we're not hearing that story here. Oh dear. Aw. You bet. I was at the time, I'll admit. I'd want to sleep in her bed, too. Jeez. And the boys' bunk. What he neglects to mention is that it was his fault I did so. Okay. So, I mean, it's a nice place for an orphanage. Don't know what more I could say about it than that. It does seem very, strict and rigid, though. Let's check the front of the chapel here first. Guess that's not opening for us either. Alright. I guess the only other object of interest here is the well? Yeah. Good old-fashioned bucket with a string attached. Ugh. I can only imagine. Was it really? I don't really think so. I mean, you can probably look on it with good times and stuff in your head because, you know, you got to experience it with other people. Well, you know what they say. Misery builds character. And that sounds absolutely miserable. Anyway, we've seen all the events, so pop into the house and pop out, and you get an event here. There was no sign of anything in there. Our last hope seems to be the chapel. So it seems. What is it, Kevin? Hey, Rias? You were the one responsible for cleaning the chapel that day, right? What day? On Astor House's final day. When Rufina died. Kevin? You don't think... That was what I was told when I went to visit the matron afterwards, at least. Well, were you? Yeah, I was. Why? I thought so. Check your pockets, Rias. I'm pretty sure the chapel key's in one of them. Huh? Eventually she found an old brass key. It can't be. No way! I see now. I guess this is just another manifestation of Phantasma's ability to make thoughts into reality. Honestly, I wasn't entirely sure you'd find it in there. But in all the other areas on this plane, there's always a reason to take the person we needed with us. This just goes to show you that you really were meant to come here, Rias. But... No. As disbelieving as I am, this is definitely the chapel's key. I suppose all we can do right now is try to go inside. Yeah. Alright then, let's head inside, see what's going on in here. The door is locked. Before we go in here, Rias, there's something I should warn you about. Once we step through that door, there'll be no going back. You're gonna find out the truth about what happened that day. All of it. And you won't like it. Are you sure you're ready for what you're about to find? I'm more than ready. All these years, I've never quite been able to accept what happened here. The life I thought I knew just suddenly came to an end, with all of us getting to move to other places, and I still don't even know why. I even tried to come back here just before beginning my training to become a squire, but it had already been demolished. I've been ready for a long time. I want to know the truth. And more than anything, I feel like knowing will let me get you closer to you and Rufina. Okay, let's head on in then. Right. Huh. Should the rest of us wait outside for this? No. Actually, I'd prefer it if you came with me. This is relevant to you guys too, in a sense. Looks like an ordinary chapel to me. Huh. It all started 5 years ago. A Jaeger Corps someone had hired took this place over out of nowhere. By the way, how much do you remember of that day, Rias? Just so I know. I just remember a group of men in black forcing their way through the gate and charging in here. They tied everyone up. They took the matron up to the second floor. And then... next thing you knew, you were in a bed in the hospital in town, right? After which, you found out that Rufina and I had come to rescue everyone. And that she had died in the process. That about right? Mm-hmm. Just, what happened, Kevin? All I've heard is that was the work of someone who opposed the church. But I haven't had a chance to meet you since then, much less ask you about it. I tried asking Instructor Selnate, but she wouldn't say a word. That doesn't surprise me. The Gralsritter commander can't admit this orphanage was being used as a smokescreen for an artifact that needed sealing away. Huh? It what? Here we go. Huh? A secret passage. I don't like the sounds of this at all. Wait! If there was an artifact here, you don't mean... Yup. Below here is a primal ground, used to seal artifacts away. Just like the one under Gransel Cathedral. Huh? The return of the spiral staircase. I'm sure you remember. The day it all happened, Rufina and I were due to come back here for the first time in a while. We were both coming from different places we'd been sent, so we wanted to meet up in town and come the rest of the way here together. But then her train was delayed, leaving me in town to wait for her alone. That was when I got word of what happened. All I could think was that you and the other kids were in danger, and so I decided to try and take out the Jaegers here alone. They weren't all that experienced, so fighting them wasn't even hard for a squire like me. Before long, I was able to disable them all, and free the matron and the other kids. Or so I thought. You were nowhere to be seen. I asked the other kids where you were. They told me one of the Jaegers had taken you somewhere else, and that you were unconscious. I looked frantically all over trying to find you, before eventually stumbling across this place. As for how... You remember how you didn't have your ribbon in your hair when you woke up, Rias? I do. What does that have to do with anything? I found that ribbon in front of the secret passage we'd just gone through. And there were new footprints near it too. Made it easy to find the entrance. Oh. Anyway, after getting in here, I made my way down the staircase and pursued the Jaeger that had taken you. Hey, Rias? Do you remember what I was like back when you first met me? Yeah. I was still young at the time, but it's as fresh as if it were only yesterday. You looked like you'd been swallowed by blackness, like there wasn't a single thread of hope bound to you. It was scary. I kept wondering what must have happened to you. What you must have seen to make you end up that way. What must have happened to me, huh? Rufina seemed like she knew. Before I met you, I killed my mom. Huh. Maybe killed isn't the right expression. It's not like I directly did it. I still let her die, though. I've got a responsibility for what happened. Growing up, it was basically me and my mom for the most part. My father showed his face from time to time, but not that much. From what I understand, he had another family elsewhere. But even without him, she did her best to look after me on her own. I loved her dearly. Kids in the neighborhood used to make fun of me for how much I talked, which I got from her, but I just beat them up most of the time. She was always kind, she loved cooking, and yeah, I thought the world of her. When I was 7, my father, who had all the money in the world, chose to abandon her. At the best of times, she was always a frail person, and after that, she grew more and more despondent. Her health suffered. I tried everything a kid could do to cheer her up, but nothing I did worked. And during one winter's day, when she must have finally had enough, she came over while I was sleeping and tried to strangle me. I'm so sorry, Kevin. I failed as your mother. But I'm so tired. I'm so tired. At least this way. The two of us can... I guess she figured that if we were both going to suffer, we might as well take the easy way out as a family. But I wouldn't let her take me with her. Before I knew what I was doing, I'd pushed her aside and ran barefoot out into the snow. I wandered around for a while after that. I couldn't understand what had happened or what she'd been trying to do. Eventually, I could feel myself getting hungry. I thought that maybe she'd been able to clear her head. I made my way back home, nervous as could be, and... Sorry for making you listen to all this. Still, I think that's probably when it happened. When my stigma was carved inside me. What? Shit. Jeez. I knew Kevin's past was heavy. I didn't think it was, like, this heavy. And I mean, obviously it gets heavier. Ugh. Where are we? Who would have thought a place like this existed under an orphanage? This is where I finally caught up to the Jaeger who had you with him. He probably didn't think anyone was going to come after him. The second he saw me, he panicked, and putting his gun down, he ran over to this pedestal right in front of us. On it was the artifact that required sealing away I mentioned earlier. The Spear of Loa. What's the Spear of Loa? A malignant spear that transforms the body of its wielder into that of a monster. It's hard to believe something like that could be a gift from the goddess, right? In any case, the corner Jaeger grabbed it and used it. I didn't stand a chance. Much as I tried, I wasn't any match for the inhuman monster before me. He knocked me to the ground, then went to raise the spear against the still unconscious you. That's all it took. Whew. My stigma drew all of the spear's power from it into itself, and blasted it, magnified countless times over, into the Jaeger's body. The result wasn't even a battle. Our precious home had become a slaughterhouse. By the end, he wasn't even recognizable, just thousands of lumps of flesh strewn all over the floor. After defeating him, my stigma's power was still coursing through my body. I'd never experienced anything like that before. I'd lost complete control of myself. At this point, Rufina arrived, and she seemed to understand exactly what had happened. Using her bowgun and Templar sword, she was able to separate me from you and prevent me from doing you any harm. And then... oh, jeez. When I returned to my senses, I was in her arms, dumbfounded. Her body was full of holes all over, but she hugged me as tightly as she could. That's when she drew her last breath. No. There it is. The truth you wanted. It wasn't that I couldn't save Rufina. I was the one who killed her. With my own hands. Right in front of you. But you didn't! I didn't want to? Maybe not. That's just an excuse. If I'd been able to control my stigma's power, instead of letting it consume me, and fill me with bloodlust, it wouldn't have happened. If I wasn't so weak, she'd still be alive today. That's not all, either. Looking at her standing before me at that moment, she reminded me of my mother. She reminded me of Mom, when she came to strangle me. Suddenly, this feeling of betrayal welled up inside me, this desire for revenge, so I filled her full of spears. I loved them both. I wanted to protect them both. And what did I do? I killed them both. Me. Why? Why did you... Why did I what? Why didn't you tell me this before? 5 years apart, and this is the first time you're telling me this. Sorry. I know I should have done it earlier. But now I have. I'm ready for the consequences. So go on. If you want to avenge her, do it. If anything, make me happy if you did. You're so stupid! What are you... You think I want to avenge her? That's not why I'm angry at all. Why have you shouldered a burden that great all this time, all on your own? We're family, Kevin. Why didn't you ever talk to me? Why didn't you ever let me hug you? Why didn't you let me do anything to help you? Rias. I finally understand. I always thought you were hunting down heretics as some kind of atonement for letting Rufina die. But that's not it at all, is it? Come on, Rias. I finally understand. You don't want to atone for anything. You don't want to get rid of your sense of guilt at all. You... That's right. He wants to be punished for what he did. Oh. The Lord of Phantasma. Why now, of all times? You have my congratulations on making it this far. Beyond here lies the 7th plane, the place of my birth, and the foundation of all planes hereafter. Thought so. And judging by how we have to go through here to get there, I was right, wasn't I? Right about what? Allow me to ask you once again. So, Kevin Graham, do you really want to see the face underneath this mask? Damn right I do. It's time to take that creepy mask thing and show us who you really are. Rufina Argent. With pleasure. Rufina? I've missed you dearly, Rias. And as for you, Kevin, I'm impressed you were able to work out my real identity. It wasn't hard. I had a feeling from the start. The answer was right in front of my face the whole time, and your every taunt should have made me that much more sure. The only reason I couldn't be until now was because I didn't want to accept the truth. Quite. You always were a weakling. You can imagine how surprised I was when you were able to defeat my strongest knight. You talking about the Blade Lord? What connection does he even have to you anyway? I met him through my work. Oh, about 6 years ago. We were enemies at the time, but we managed to reach a compromise of sorts. And he felt he owed me a debt for as much. Alright, so you ended up summoning him in order to have him repay it? It's a crafty move, but that's not so out of character for you. Flattery won't get you anywhere with me. Still, now that you've made it this far, I assume you understand what I'm trying to do. Yeah, I'm ready. Take me away. Wait! What are you two talking about? I would have thought you'd worked the answer to that out already, Rias. Do you recall what I said before? Kevin wants to be punished. Then you... I was born here in order to give him the punishment he strives for, with his every breath. It was to that end that I recreated Phantasma into its current form, and welcomed all of you here. All of this was a result of Kevin's desires. He wanted this to happen. You're lying! Sorry, she isn't. I couldn't tell you why it all actually happened. What she says is true. No! 7th plane is likely somewhere made for the express purpose of punishing me over and over. A fitting hell for someone who let his own mother die, and killed Rufina to suffer and rot. And once I'm dropped down there, this will all be over. Wait a second, why should you have to do that? You can't be serious, Kevin. Rias? What do you think you're doing, Rias? That's not a very nice thing to do to your sister. Shut up! You're not my sister! My sister would never do something like this. Never! Rias. You promised me, Kevin. You promised me that you'd never do anything that would make Rufina sad. So what do you think you're doing? How can you believe sacrificing yourself for everyone would make her happy? Rias, stop. Who are you to say it wouldn't? I might not be the real Rufina, but I'm a very close copy of her. If Kevin wants to be punished, why shouldn't I want to give him his wish? Because that's not how Rufina was at all. She never indulged something like that. Not in 1,000 years. Think back to when you first met us, Kevin. You'd given up on the world, like you just want to disappear. But did she let you do that? No! She forced chocolate down your throat and dragged you right back into the real world, even when you didn't want to. Whether you liked it or not. Yeah, she smooched you. Well, this is a surprise. You've grown a lot more than I was expecting, if you're able to talk back to me. Stop talking to me as if you're my sister. You are not, and I won't stand for you defiling her any further. Well, if that's how you want to do things, perhaps I should invite you in Kevin's place. Me? No! The rest of you can stand by and watch. Ugh. What? It's just like the one that devil used. Rias! Stop this, Rufina! She's got nothing to do with any of this! Oh, but she has. Consider this another part of your punishment. After all, if she suffers for all eternity in your place, that's gonna make your suffering all the more potent, isn't it? Please. Go ahead and do your worst. Oh? Rias? Drop me wherever you like. I'll live. I'm never gonna let Kevin be alone again. I will come back to him. Fighting words, my sweet sister. We shall see whether you can make good on them. Kevin. Oh shit. Oh shit, guys, we're going to hell. Hey. Hey, Rias. Wake up. Kevin? Oh. You okay? Feeling any pain? No. I'm okay, I think. But why are you... I fell through that crack alone. So why are you? You big dummy! Me? What were you thinking with all that taunting? Go ahead and do your worst? Drop me where you like? I'll live? Just how do you know you'll live? Oh, right. You don't. But... You're a squire, aren't you? A rookie like you with no experience or proper judgment has no business making calls that put her own safety at risk. You can't promise to never do that again, and you and I both know you're not cut out to be part of the Growl's Ritter. That's probably what I should be saying anyway, but it'd be real rich coming from me, huh? So I'll let you off with that little bop there. Huh? Look around us. This is it. The 7th plane. Wow. Welcome to Gehenna. Or, you know, more adequately, hell. We're in hell now, guys. Gehenna. Yep. It's just like the Testament's brought to life. And I'm the one responsible for bringing it all. Oh. After all, there's one place that's possible. It's Phantasma. I don't know how Rufina came back, but she did, with both memories and personality intact. And now I have the good fortune of being punished by one of the very people I wronged. I really couldn't think of a more fitting punishment for a bastard like me. Everything she said was dead on. More than anything, I wanted to be punished. I figured that by accepting that punishment, all this would be done, and everyone else could go back to their lives. I thought I could be just like her, sacrificing my own life so everyone else could be saved. But that wouldn't make me like her at all, would it? No. She might have given up her life to save ours, but that wasn't because she was happy to throw away her life to protect someone else's. It was because she saw literally no other option. With me unconscious, she didn't even have the choice to retreat. There was no way out of the situation without one of the three of us losing our lives. That's the only reason she chose to do what she did. Yeah. She was never the kind of the person who would praise self-sacrifice as some kind of virtue. She'd only ever accept it as an option. All the others had been exhausted. It was truly the only way. Right. But this time that's not the case. You're here. I'm here. All of our friends are here. If we put our heads together, I'm sure we could have found another way out of here. One where no one would have to die. You must have realized that, yet you tried to take the easy way out. Didn't you? I hate to say it, but yeah, I did. It's a pretty shameful thing for Dominion to be doing, huh? See? I got no right to be criticizing you. I'm even less fit to be a knight than you. Still, standing around lamenting my own failings isn't going to get us anywhere. So, if you're up for walking, let's get ourselves out of here. Come again? What are you looking so surprised for? You didn't think I was going to stay here and accept being punished for all eternity, did you? Well, either that or stay here and wait for Rufina to show up again. Listen here, Rias. I'm not going to deny that there's a part of me, a big part, that wants to be punished for what I did. Or that there's a part of me that was overjoyed to see Rufina again, however it came to be. But I'm not alone down here. You're here with me, and believe me, that changes everything. As long as you're here, I'm not staying in this hellhole a second longer than I have to. We're getting out of here, you and me, no matter what it takes. Right. Right! Okay, that was one hell of a series of cutscenes. Welcome to Hell. Replete with new soundtrack. I'm gonna make a new save. Oh, let's get exploring. Looks like the classic Fire and Brimstone. This appears to be an orbit charging station. But we're at full capacity, so let's just move forward. Whole bunch of devils and stuff running around, but our cloak quartz is firmly on Rias, so don't have anything to worry about in that regard. So we're just gonna pick up some treasures along the way. Not quite as good as the Agnes Day, but that's neat. That's for sure. Cosmic gear. Decent armor. Another EP charge. I guess we can just walk around this thing. We don't have to fight it at all. How quaint. Kevin Graham, you son of a bitch. How dare you? What? One of the heretics I killed, huh? Damn right I am. I'm Owen, the first of so many lives you've claimed. Owen? He was a bishop in the Congregation for Divine Worship. He's also the one who hired those Jaegers to attack Astor House. All as a pathetic act of revenge after being exiled for corruption. Him? Like he says, he was my first target after taking up my role as heretic hunter. Never thought I'd have the chance to see your ugly mug again. How does it feel to crawl around in this flaming pit for all eternity, unable to even die to break free from it all? It's hot. It hurts. I hate it. I hate it. It's hot. I hate it. I hate. Hurt. Hate. Help me, hot. Hate. Help. Help. Hot. Ah. What a pitiful sight you are now. Well, hey. I guess you've suffered enough that I can put you out of your misery. No more heat or suffering for you. Just quick death and eternal rest as a grimoire. Hire some weird people to be bishops, huh?
Let's end this.
Also, Ria's got a new sprite, and it's really cute. I like it a lot. She's definitely taken after Rufina with that ribbon in her hair. That's gross, though. Well, dividing itself just makes it easier for me to beat up on. Y'all gotta stop that. Okay, so I can't get it with that move, so just Hellgate, why not? That should finish them off. Yeah, that wasn't too hard of a fight at all.
Stay alert. This ain't over.
Kevin? Alright, let's keep this up. I doubt we're near the exit just yet. Can't dawdle here for too long. Alright, back to exploring hell. I was wondering if they were going to give us, like, the 5 circles of hell or anything like that. I suppose it's 9 circles, but you know what I mean. There's a treasure chest down there that I want to grab, so let's pick that up before I forget about it. The Vajra accessory is actually really good, but we've got great accessories on Kevin and Rias anyway, so don't even worry about that in the slightest, guys. I'm not. Find some of the last recipes in the game in there. And the Shine Sphere. Alright. New area means, new boss, I guess. Another mud guy with another arrow in his back. Please, let me eat you. I'm so hungry. A child? His name's Elmer. He was a young boy, turned into a flesh-eating monster by a fanatical devil-worshipping cult. They did it all through a ritual involving artifacts. I tried everything I could to save him, Every kind of thaumaturgy I could think of. But eventually the only option was to put him out of his misery. No. I can, right? You both look so tasty. So go on. It won't hurt. You didn't deserve this, kid. And I'm not gonna blame Adios either. You wanna resent someone, resent me. So let me put you to peace the second time. No, I don't wanna die. I just don't wanna be hungry anymore. Wow, way to make me feel bad about killing monsters, game. I mean, I still am gonna kill them. It's just, you know, I'm gonna feel a bit bad about it. Come at me, bro. Oh my god, stop dividing. Jesus.
Let's end this.
Just want to avoid dying, is all. I tried my best.
Good job. Keep it up.
And these guys actually give me some experience too, not just one, so, you know. Definitely know you're getting close to the end game when the enemies start giving you experience again. And I didn't want to get out of bed for a week after that one. How times change. This is practically another day for me now. Kevin! Why? Why have you been trying to deal with all this on your own, all this time? You could have at least talked to me. I chose the path I walk by myself, Rias. What right do I have to drag others down with me? Especially you. Nah. That's not why I didn't talk to you about it at all, is it? I think more than anything, I was afraid. I didn't want you to see me trying to hurt myself, to punish myself. I was afraid that if you did, the bond between us would be severed forever, and that thought alone was almost too much to bear. Yeah, I bet that was the real reason. I was right. You're stupid. You're the stupidest person I've ever met. Couldn't you use something a little more affectionate? I called you a dummy before, right? That one's cute. Although, I guess being stupid suits me. You dummy. You blockhead. You half-wit. That's an impressive collection of insults you've got in stock. You okay now, Rias? I'm fine. You don't need to worry about me. I'll do all I can to get us out of here. So I don't want you to worry about me. I want you to rely on me. Okay. Man, this is... Yeah, this is definitely something else, that's for sure. Kinda wish I had someone to enjoy this misery and suffering with me. Oh well. Inside here is a saffron necklace, which I believe I have. Well, it's a Grail locket, so you know we'll throw that on someone who needs it. There's another one. Wow, they really are getting us prepped for the end of the end here. That's the last treasure in the area. So, make another save, and we'll push onward. I suppose I should actually, like, use some of these things. That's why you have them in the first place. I'm so sorry, Kevin. I failed as your mother. But I'm so tired. I'm so tired. Mom? Is this? At least this way. At least this way. The two of us can... Alright. Not feeling too bad about doing this. Bam. Come a little closer, come a little closer. Alright, Death Scream takes care of the mobs. And now I'm just left with this, this jerk. Actually, what does that description say? Curses all she sees and steals their abilities. Fun. Well, luckily for us, didn't really get to curse us. Alright. Mission complete. Huh. Damn. That one hurt. Kevin, you don't... This place in it, and everything in it was seriously what I wanted for myself? And I'm probably the biggest masochist who ever lived, don't you think? You don't need to force yourself to talk, Kevin. Sorry. I suppose this moment had to come sooner or later. I've been running away from Mom's death ever since the day I lost her. Always so desperate to look away from it all. But now, I feel I can finally accept what happened. You're sure? Yeah, I'm sure. Let's get going, Rias. There'll be plenty of time to be sad after we get out of this place. Right now, we need to concentrate on living long enough to do that. Okay. Not too much longer to go here, I don't believe. But you can see occasionally, looking down, all the areas in the past. We're definitely climbing out of this hellhole, that's for sure. And judging by the music change, the Sun Orbit Station, I think we're finally at the end here. Alrighty then. Let's see what awaits for us at the end of Gehenna. Oh. We're at the exit. The gates of Gehenna. Those gates are distorted but steadfast, serving to keep the living and the dead apart. Yeah, they've been accurately realized for sure. Too bad the testaments don't give us any clues on how the two of us can force them open. Nor do you have any chance of doing so. Who was that? About time. Oh shit, it's this guy. A pleasure to see you again, Kevin Graham. I never thought we'd have the pleasure of meeting face to face again. Certainly not in a place bedecked with so many delightful peculiarities. Huh. I figured you might show up eventually. With this place being full of people I killed, you rearing your ugly head was always a given. Who is he? He's the biggest sinner the church has ever been unfortunate enough to have in their ranks. The Bishop of the Congregation of Sacraments, who went on to become an Anguis in Ouroboros. George Wiseman, the demon I put an end to half a year ago. That's him? Not discerning your identity was truly my most careless blunder. I never suspected that the priest before me would be the one to inherit the long vacant position of Fifth Dominion. Life does so love its surprises, doesn't it? Well, that was the point. Me being a Dominion was deliberately kept secret, so that I could serve as one of the congregation's trump cards. Of course, truth's out in the open now, but it's a fair enough price to pay if it means you're dead. The congregation always were a cunning bunch. They created such an elaborate scheme just to take out poor little me. Was the plan conceived shortly after your stigma first manifested? No, I'm sure it was. And after that, it was merely biding your time till you could make your move. With a Dominion, the Salt Pail, and a carefully designed game plan on their side, the odds of me escaping with my life were woefully slim indeed. You're right about how cunning they are. In that sense, you're probably just as right when you called me a damn dog. I was fine with being that way too. How respectable of you. I must admit, I am astounded. I had carried out plenty of my own research on stigmas and their capabilities. But I had no idea a genuine article was capable of quite this much. What are you talking about? I suspect that deep down, you already know the answer, but it is my deepest pleasure to elaborate. The Gehenna in which we stand is a reflection of your latent desires, and that you already know. But more specifically, the cause of this is your stigma. Huh? What do you mean? After the Oriole's disappearance, Phantasma was thrown into a state of great confusion. After all, Phantasma was the Oriole's subsystem. Without the Oriole to control it, it was like a ship whose captain had suddenly vanished. Lost. To calm its own confusion, Phantasma sought a new master who could take the place of the Oriole and control it. Specifically, it chose the person with the deepest trauma from among those close to the Oriole when it vanished. Its decision made, it found the stigma that exists deep within you, and made a copy within itself. That stigma then manifested your latent desire. Gehenna, here in Phantasma. And that is how both this and the Lord of Phantasma came into existence. Okay, that makes sense. We knew this was connected to the Oriole somehow, but it attached to Kevin because it likes screwing with people's minds, and Kevin was clearly the best choice. Also explains why everything's out to get him in specific. Kevin? Well, I suppose that's enough exposition for now. And now that we're clear of all confusion, I have a proposition for you. One that will allow you to resolve all of this without a single loss of life. A tantalizing prospect, no? You can do that? Really? It's quite simple. You need only to cast away your humanity. Nothing more. Your stigma rose from the ashes of immense despair and guilt. What better way to deal with this situation than to become a being that is not burdened by such worthless emotions? To become a truly self-supporting superhuman, capable of controlling every facet of themselves. You're insane. That's no way for people to live. Yet it is the goal I obsessively pursue, in both life and death alike. My research into stigmas was but one part of my efforts to achieve it. My efforts with Joshua may not have borne fruit, but you are so very close to reaching it. And once you become a superhuman, you will be able to fully control your own stigma, and emerge as a new Lord of Phantasma. Silence, Faceless! Stop trying to deceive him with that forked tongue of yours. Please, I am doing no such thing. I only presented a modest proposal at best. Not one word I've said is a lie. I swear it. You could argue that I may feel resentment towards him for being instrumental in my death, but at this point that matters little to me. Everything pales in significance to seeing my long-cherished ambition realized. I abandoned the Church's teachings and joined Ouroboros in pursuit of creating a superhuman. And now, I finally can. You're insane. It's alright, Rias. You don't need to keep defending me. Kevin? I'm glad to see you understand me. I always knew you would see sense in the end. It's hard to disagree with the fact that I need to be stronger than I am. It was my weakness and my cowardice that led to taking Rufina's life with my own two hands. It was my weakness and my cowardice that led to rejecting Mom and allowing her to die. And now, it's those same two qualities that have led Rias and the others getting drawn into this mess to suffer. All those things are on me. All of them. But you're absolutely right. But there's no need to despair any longer. You have it in you to overcome such weaknesses. Follow the path I've opened to you, and they will be a thing of the past. A mere memory. That's one option, sure. A good one, too. But sorry, it's not the one I'm gonna be picking. Huh? Man, I'm even more of a loser than I figured. Even now, I just can't bring myself to forget the taste of the chocolate I had that day. What? When Rufina and Rias found me, I was crushed beyond measure. I thought I'd never be able to stand up again and overcome the despair I felt. That's why that bitter, yet sweet taste left such a strong impression on me. It's why it gave me the strength to move forward, even knowing how many hardships awaited. Because for every hardship, there'll be just as much joy waiting for me. Kevin? So sorry, Faceless. This thing ain't gonna work out between us. Very well. I'm not about to force you to change your mind. But let's see how far such pathetic sentimentality will take you when your lives are placed in mortal peril, shall we? Oh boy, he's summoning two big chonkers. No. Astarte and Rostrum. We have to face both Guardians again as Gate at once for this round, huh? You may be a Dominion, but surely even you realize you don't stand a chance of winning here. Not when you have to worry about that girl with you. well, having any second thoughts? Don't you dare listen to him, Kevin. I'll be fine. Don't let worrying about me stop you doing what's right. Well, you're right about our chances of winning. 2 high-ranking devils, and you against the 2 of us? Things aren't just Things aren't looking so hot? Yeah, that's a double line. That's a double. That should be getting rid of. Whatever. At least, that was before I knew I'm not the man I once was. What? Ah! Ah! Kevin learned the S-Craft, Spear of This is a space element attack that hits all foes on the field, and is especially effective versus devils. Sure, let's set it as a sprite for now. Wow. Impossible! What is that? This is the other side of my stigma. Its light side. It's been there all along. I was just never able to see it. Until now. How can this be? Seems like I owe you a word of thanks, Faceless. Turning down that deal you threw out has finally allowed me to gain a little confidence in myself. As a token of my appreciation, you can be the first one to see what I can do, as its victim. I always knew you were nothing more than a dog. Fine, have it your way. Let's see how much of a difference a change of color really makes against such overwhelming odds. I welcome you to try. Ooh. These guys hit hard. That's for sure.
Carved within my soul's abyss. Become a pillar of light upon this purgatory. Fly, holy spears of heaven!
Well, those are getting dealt with somewhat well. Alright. Barely see Kevin behind all this devil meat here. Well, we're just gonna keep our health up. Rah. All right. Let's do this again.
Become a pillar of light upon this purgatory. Fear the heaven.
Alright. That's both of the devils down. And now we just have the third devil to deal with. Mr. Faceless himself. One more hit should take him out, though. And luckily for us, Kevin's right in position. Only he turned into salt.
You had to die.
Damn right you had to die. Here for our trouble, we get the Tiger Heart, the Crimson Eye, and a Zarin Powder. Not bad. Not bad at all. Well done. But as long as Phantasma... What? What? But as long as Phantasma exists, I will never die. I'll always be watching you from here, Kevin Graham. Watching to see just how long you can continue to desperately play tough before accepting the reality around you. Huh. Desperately play tough, huh? I wish I could disagree. What do you mean? Kevin! How are you? Are you alright? I'm fine. I think I just overdid it some. Again. I'll be okay, though. I won't flop over like I did last time I pulled this. Not after I made up my mind to finally face Rufina head on. Good. Still, we might have beaten him, but we're really not in the best situation here, are we? How are we even supposed to get that door open? I don't think we're enough to get it to budge. Yeah, but we've come this far. We can't just give up. I think we're gonna have to destroy it. As usual, you mind if we try at least try something else before resorting to rampant destruction? Besides, I think the gate's the most important defining structure down here. What makes this a replica of Gehenna more than anything? I can't see it being very easy to destroy. Hey! That sounds like... Is this a joke? Oh god, it's Gilbert. Oh no. I've never been so happy to see someone in my life! And once again, you go out of your way to defy logic. Damn straight. I'm tired of getting defied. We've found you in some weird-ass places, but this one has got to be the weirdest of them all. How did you get down here? His presence is more than just a little suspicious. You're not working with the Lord of Phantasma, are you? The Lord of what's it? No, forget it. We don't have time to chit-chat. We need to run, now, or we're done for. Huh? Was that? Roaring, and the sound of flapping wings. A lot of them. Ah! Oh shit, we're reliving the end of Evangelion here. Are those devils? They're not as high ranking as the two we just beat. They're no slouches either. How are we supposed to take on this many at once? Do something! This is your responsibility! I don't want to die! Not here! And you think we do? I sure don't. Damn it. I used too much of my stigma's power. I gotta at least try to give these two an opening to get away, but how? Stay back! Stay back! Kevin, I don't think I got much of a choice here. Oh. The cavalry have arrived. Kevin, Rias, are you okay? Thank goodness we made it. What is this place? Hell? Oh my, This looks like a one-to-one replica of Gehenna. My compliments to the designer. Nice to see you two hanging in there. I can see we're in for a fun time. Why the heck is Gilbert with you? You guys. Why? After you fell down here, Celeste was gracious enough to search for your location. And thanks to you having the cube with you, we were able to find it. She finished connecting a path here only moments ago. This door will take us back up to the garden. Really? We appreciate it. I can't believe my luck! Anyway, the talking can wait until later. We'll charge in and try to force an opening in their ranks. You take that chance to break through and get through the gate. Hurry! Thanks. Truly, thank you. Then, shall we begin? A most thrilling dance with devils awaits. Righteousness shall be victorious. Fall before the blade of Evander. Let's do this! Right! I'm a sucker for this kind of thing. I love it. Love when the heroes save the day like that. It's good stuff. Chapter 7. The Distant Flames. Well, that was a short chapter. It only took me like an hour. But, yeah, that's, clearly pushing us to the, very, very end of the game here. That's about the long and short of it. In other words, all this, everything that's happened, is my fault. All you victims who had the misfortune of knowing me, getting dragged into this. No apology is sincere enough, but I'm so sorry for what you've been put through. I'm not following. Why? I heard all you said, but I don't think you've got any reason to be that sorry. Come again, Estelle? Based on what we've learned, Phantasma choosing a new master was an inevitability, and it's something it would have done whether you were there or not. As such, after it lost the Aureole, something like this would have happened no matter the circumstances. I agree. Phantasma would simply have chosen someone else, and created a different world as a result of the trauma that lay within. The thought that you might have been chosen is nothing short of terrifying too. Everything that's happened to us here, so far, is nothing compared to what we would have endured if that had come to pass. Oh, Mueller, your words are like the sweetest kiss, turned frozen upon parting. Do you have that little faith in me, your one and only? Perhaps everyone here would have been drawn into the most ravenous feast this world has ever seen, but nothing more than that. I'm scared. I'm just disgusted. You're a special degree of creep, you know that? I want no part of any feast that comes from out of your brain. Count me out of this one. I can't help but feel you guys are kind of missing the point. Well, don't take this as me trying to defend you or anything, but in a sense, it might have been a good thing you were chosen over anyone else. How do you figure? I'm lost as well. Your stigma is obviously very powerful, and is capable of exerting a lot of control over things. Even so that Phantasma as it now exists in a state of order. But, what if it had chosen someone else? Would the world have been able to maintain order then? It's possible that Phantasma would have been unable to contain the chaos that ensued, and gone out of control under someone else. Is what you're essentially getting at, right? I knew you'd understand, Joshua. If that had happened, a whole lot more people might have been caught up in this. Not that I've got a problem with lots of guests at a tea party, the more the merrier. Come on, Ren. I think you're the only one who'd be having fun. Heh. She's right. I don't think you've got any reason to beat yourself up over this. We're all very different people, from different walks of life. But right now, we're all here, sharing a common destiny. Yeah, in times like this, we gotta help each other out, right? Besides, this place relates to the Aureole, which is Liberal's problem. From my perspective, you're a victim. I couldn't agree more. As such, Kevin, we would appreciate you continuing to lead us as you have done so far. It's time to truly bring an end to what was started half a year ago. What can I even say? First, I'm stupid. Then Rias pulls off the dumbest thing I've ever seen. And now you guys. This must be the biggest group of idiots in all of Zemuria. I swear, you wouldn't find a more gullible, naive bunch anywhere on the continent. I was happy to use each and every one of you for my own devices, right till the very end. So, how can you be so... It's alright, Kevin. Kevin. Sometimes you just have to know when to give in. And you're at that point right now. Your luck ran out the second you got stuck with us. Got stuck with you mean? Spending too much time with pushy, meddling do-gooders who don't know when to quit like this is bad for anyone. You want to say that again? Well, all of those things describe you to a T. That much is true. They certainly do. I think they're your good points, though. Yeah, so do I. I think Estelle's rubbed off on all of us at this point, and that's not a bad thing. Thanks, guys? Group of idiots is right. We're smack dab in the middle of a shitty situation here, but you wouldn't know it by looking at us. With a team this spectacular, what do we have to fear? There's a chance we could even overthrow the Erebonian government if we put our minds to it. Shh. Olivier, no, that's later. We're doing that later. Quiet, you. Need I remind you, that's not something an Erebonian prince should be saying out loud. Alright. I know what I'm beat. We're in this. Together. And this time, I actually mean that. Got it. We're happy to have you with us. Anyway, at least now, we know exactly what we need to do here. We need to defeat Rufina, Lord Phantasma. There's no getting around that. Unfortunately not. Indeed. With that said, just where is she? You didn't encounter her in Gehenna, did you? She disappeared right after the two of you fell down there. That's a good question. I think it's safe to say she wasn't down in Gehenna with us. If she had been, she would have shown herself at some point. Yeah, but then, where is she? I believe I can answer that. Oh, hello, Celeste. Nice to see you again. Celeste? Didn't realize you were here. I can't thank you enough for saving our hides earlier. Truly, I doubt we would have been able to get out unharmed if not for your assistance. We're both grateful beyond words. I was more than happy to help. All of us here are in the same predicament, myself included. You can even think of me as another one of your companions if you'd like. Naturally. What kind of answer are you thinking you can give? Ah, yes. It took some time, but I was able to ascertain her current location. What? Really? Is that what you've been working on all this time? Yes, it is. During my investigation of the Seventh Plane, I was able to gain an understanding of the layout and contents of Phantasma as a whole. I also discovered that the Lord of Phantasma isn't in any of the planes. Rather, she is outside of them. Phantasma consists of more than just the planes? What, is it, like, outside of them? Think of the planes you've been exploring like a giant, multi-layered structure in the center of Phantasma. They're all you've known up until this point, but this world consists of more than them. That said, the rest of Phantasma is just a vast, barren wasteland at this point, abandoned and devoid of life. Hard to picture without seeing for myself. Do you know where in this big, abandoned wasteland she is? Because if it's that vast, just knowing that she's there probably isn't going to help us that much. I have a relatively good idea where she is in it, thankfully. Although, that doesn't solve the core problem. I fear the word vast doesn't do the scale of the wasteland itself justice. I believe it's roughly the size of the continent where you live. It's the size of Zemuria? That is gonna pose a problem. Crossing an area that massive on foot would take months, maybe even longer. Do we not have any other means of transport that we could use? I'm not sure my power would be of any use to you here. I can't place monuments too far from this garden, for one thing. Even if we did commit ourselves to trekking across the whole thing on foot, without the cube's power, we couldn't come back and resupply. Trying to take several months' worth of food hardly seems realistic. Well, this is a tough one. I can only think of waiting for her to come to us. What's up with you, short stuff? Got something on your mind? Well, I was just thinking, why not use the RCL? What? The replica we encountered on the first plane? Yeah, this world is supposed to react to the desires of the people in it, right? So while that RCL might not be the real one, it looks just like it. Everyone here is pretty familiar with the real thing and how it looks, so it seems like a ship we could all picture flying easily. Maybe if we all wished for it to fly together, it might actually happen. Sorry, I'm being silly, aren't I? I don't know what's gotten into me. This isn't something an engineer should be saying. I don't think you're silly at all, Tita. In fact, I think that's a fantastic idea. You do? Does seem like the easier something is to imagine, the easier it is to have it realized in Phantasma. Both you and Julia are familiar with the exact structure of the RCL, while most of us here have seen and been on board it. This might actually work. There's clearly no rule saying airships can't exist here, given that we've already been on the Black Ark. Well, Celeste, do you think it would work? The RCL was the ship you used to board the Liber Ark, I believe. Then if I were to feed the image of it flying then back into the system. I think this may actually be possible. If all of you are on board, the White Wings will take to the skies once more. We can really make this happen. I can't believe it. Well done, Tita. Totally. You really outdid yourself this time. Wait a second. Does that mean we might be able to actually make the Bobcat fly? There's a copy of that here, too. Oh, you're right. How many of you are familiar with that? Crap. I forgot about that. I think Josetta and I are the only ones who've actually flown in it. That's not true, Joshua. Estelle, Olivier, and Sherazard were there with you when you stowed away on it. Okay, good. That was literally the next line. I was like, hey. Yes, that was back when we were investigating that airship hijacking. What a fond memory that adventure made, now that I look back. I'm not sure what the odds of success would be, then. That's a rather small number of people. I think it would be wise to try and focus on trying to revive the RCL first. Aw, okay. Still, this sounds like a much better plan than trying to walk there on foot. We should prepare for departure at once, then make our way to the RCL. You don't gotta tell me twice. We'll have a lot in store for us if we're able to make this work. However, I should warn you all of one thing. Once you have flown the RCL to the area where the Lord of Phantasma awaits, that will be it. You will be unable to return to this garden ever again. Please be mindful of that. Never? Not even once. Because we won't be able to use the cube's warp functionality anymore. Correct. Using it to warp is only possible when you are in a certain range of the garden. Go outside that, and it is no longer possible. So before you depart, I would ask that you make absolutely sure you have everything you need, and are ready for whatever you may find there. Good to know. Wouldn't hurt to do some extra training then. I don't doubt we're all going to have to play our part in the things to come. Yeah, you're right. I wouldn't mind getting in some exercise myself. Wouldn't want to wind up being the one to drag the group down. This will be our last opportunity to open the doors scattered throughout the plains, and take anything we find, too. It's Probably best I step down as leader for the time being then. If you're just door hunting or trying to get some extra practice in, I'd only get in the way. If anyone else wants to learn how to use the cube or fill out my notebook, I'd be happy to teach you. Just let me know. Let's just be sure that when the time comes, we leave with no regrets. Right. Chapter 8. The Future We Dream Of. Okay, so no characters are locked to your party. You can pick whoever the hell you want. So, just pick whoever the hell we want, I guess. Oh god, so many choices.
Right.
Take it.
Do it.
Here we go.
Why the hell is Zin unequipped? Seriously, I don't get why my party members get unequipped at the weirdest freaking times. It makes no sense. Alrighty then. So, I'm gonna go break off an episode here. But, I'm still gonna be playing a bit more today. It's just gonna be me hunting down doors, doing some grinding, that kind of, boring, annoying stuff. So, if you don't mind that, go ahead and stick around. If you do mind that, then, I'm sorry. Also have to rejigger Zin's quartz, I guess, because, somebody decided to take everything off of him. Actually, this should just be an Onyx gem. Speed is good. Yeah, this is acceptable. Okay, yeah, alright. I've been playing around too much, so I'm gonna go cut a video here, and then, I'm just gonna be doing some random faffing about, so, yeah. Thanks for coming, everyone. And if you're watching on YouTube, make sure to do the needful. Like, comment, subscribe, do all that, and we'll see you next time. And for those of you watching on Twitch, see you in a few seconds here.